Hey there and welcome back to The Sims 3. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of this attempt to fully complete The Sims 3 World Adventures. Last time we left off after completing the lengthy Tomb of the Desert Ocean and finding the Relic of Life. Today we are going to search for the third and final relic in this quest chain, but first of all, after a full night's sleep in Simhara's market, we're paying a visit to special merchant Ketevan Moraes. Now at visa level 2, Sanat can purchase the Tear of Horus from him, a very useful item that reveals the location of all dig sites and relics on the map. At 1800 ancient coins it is not cheap, but definitely worth the price in my opinion. One thing I'm a bit on the fence about is the skeleton keystone. This one allows you to open any door locked with a crescent, heart or star-shaped keystone. On one hand, this would make tomb exploration a lot easier, but I feel like it could also be made completely obsolete by the completionist approach in this series. Since we are trying to fully explore all tombs anyway, there will likely be no need to bypass any keystone locked doors. But let me know if you think we should grab it. For now, we take a look at the Tear of Horus. Activating it from our inventory here, you can see all the relic and dig site locations neatly marked on the map, so essentially a collection helper for those specific things. Then we speak to relic merchant Kailev Tel, who knows more about the third relic. He has a good sense of humor, so Sanat's comedic approach is appreciated, and eventually he promises to tell us what we want to hear, that is, if we can bring him a serving of shawarma. Now that won't be too difficult. On the way over to the food merchant, we can take a few more pictures of people in the area to make progress towards 2 photography skill challenges. And we also purchase 2 showers in the can from general goods merchant Izirina Doiran, who may or may not have taken an interest in Sanat. Then we speak to food merchant Kozan Demircan and purchase a serving of shawarma to be delivered to Kailev Tel right away. This now gives us the information we were looking for. The third relic is hidden in the Great Pyramid, not the Pyramid of the Wind, like the objective falsely states here. And that pyramid is another lengthy one, so let's get moving right away. We quickly fulfill Sanat's wish to go jogging and then have him drive over to the pyramid entrance. It is swiftly opened and he can step inside, and we can see another lovely side effect of the Tear of Horus. Not only does it mark treasure on the world map, it also gives them a blue glow in the normal camera mode, extremely handy to make sure you're not missing any secret rooms inside a tomb. Speaking of secret rooms, pulling the statue here already reveals the first one, earning Sanat 450 lifetime happiness points, and we can help ourselves to the first bits of treasure inside the pyramid. Afterwards, we want to drag the other statue to reveal a hole in the ground. Inside of it, Sanat finds some dried food, and this won't be the last time. There is also another hidden door on the other side of the chamber, a money bag behind it that we can sell right away. With the door on the right blocked by rocks, we then go through the door on the left in the room that we opened first. We are greeted by fire traps and the need for a star keystone, which we in fact already have, but for the sake of true completion, let's not take any shortcuts. The wall here slides open, we can identify another secret door that gets us behind the fire trap, and there we find the keystone we were looking for. A second one, alongside some ancient coins, lies at the end of the corridor here. Walking over to it also activates another set of fire traps, but the hole in the wall can be used to deactivate them again. Keystone in hand, we then unlock the double doors and find ourselves in a room that seems harmless until you look closer and see tiny little arrows shooting out of the trap holes on the ground. Better to avoid those. Behind a hidden door, a hole in the wall can be fiddled with to deactivate those traps, And there's some treasure in here too, another canopic jar. Opening the chest also unlocks a secret passage into another treasure chamber. Sanat can find both relics and ancient coins in here, and by mourning the large tombstone on the left, a hole in the wall is revealed, containing another relic that completes the rather lucrative wish of finding relics with a total value of over 2,000 simoleons. Another secret door then leads out of this room too. The axe of Pangu makes quick work of the pile of rocks behind it, and Sanat can loot the sarcophagus for another relic. I think you can already see a pattern of vastness emerge in this tomb here. After a quick bite to eat, we head all the way back, grab the ancient coins from the pedestal, and walk through the door leading into the next chamber. A treasure chest is prominently placed in the middle of it, containing an Egyptian vase, and there is another set of arrow traps that we can deactivate with the hole in the floor near the fence behind it. This in turn allows Sanat to access the hole behind the traps, containing another fragment of the sarcophagus of kings. Unfortunately, we already have the full collection, but maybe we can construct 2 of them. If that's possible, feel free to let me know. Over on the other side then, the Tier of Horrors reveals secret treasure behind a hidden door, a money bag that we will gladly take, before we then smash the rocks here, one from this side, one from the other, clearing the path for the stone statue to be pulled onto the pressure plate. This unlocks stairs leading down, and we want to follow them. For now, we can't do anything else up on this level. We begin by picking up another money bag, and then enter a chamber with 6 holes on the walls. The one marked in green is the one we want to use first, as it deactivates the hidden traps in front of the other 5. Those then all contain various bits of treasure, dried food, a money bag, a rainbow gem worth over 1,000 simoleons, ancient coins, and another gemstone. A good haul to finish the day with, as Sanat is getting tired and should rest up before continuing his adventure. On the following morning then, he walks through the door leading into the next chamber, or rather corridor, encountering another hidden door along the way. Unlocking it not only grants him a further 450 lifetime happiness points, but also a piece of copper and a tombstone to mourn at, revealing a hole in the floor containing more ancient coins. The next room then is vast and filled with fire traps, and the Tier of Horrors reveals it. Treasure is all around. We begin with a gemstone in the bottom right corner here, and then drag the statue in the middle of the room onto the pressure plate surrounded by fire. This only reveals a second floor tile. The corresponding statue is hidden in the lower left corner, and dragging it all the way over here can take a minute, but at least we can push it straight through the flames to shorten the path somewhat. A floor switch to stand upon is now activated. By stepping onto it, Sanat unlocks the door to the left, and with the other 2 exits still closed off, we have no other choice but to use it. The chamber here seems empty, but actually has 2 exits, one hidden behind the rock pile, the other concealed by a secret door. After earning some more lifetime happiness points for finding the latter, we want to follow the corridor behind it, as it is filled with treasure. The money bags we have collected at this point amount to over 1,000 simoleons. There is also a small urn on the table here to mourn at. Doing so both unlocks a secret door and reveals a hole in the floor with a gemstone inside. At this point, we could continue, but just for the sake of full completion, let us also explore the alternative path you can take here if hidden doors are not your thing. Going through the door that previously had the rock pile in front of it, we come across a second, identical one. Smashing the rocks here gets us into the same room as the other path. In this room then, we want to be very careful to avoid the red tiles on the floor. Those have hidden fire traps on them, but as you can see, Sanat navigates them expertly and can then unlock the way onwards by stepping onto any of the pressure plates. Fire springs up to block the return path, but we want to go forwards anyway. Several rock piles can be smashed in this room, the first one here concealing a canopic jar, and with a value of over 500 simoleons, it fulfills another wish. Hidden below the rocks in the other corner, then there are 3 piles of ancient coins, while a not at all suspicious-looking wall section reveals a hidden passage. While we wait for that to open, Sanat can smash another rock pile, revealing a floor switch that we can now drag and push the statue here onto. A little finicky, but eventually the 2 remaining doors in that big chamber we were in previously open up. And while we do have a corridor ahead of us leading deeper into the pyramid, we will leave that one be for now. Keep it in mind for later though. For now we navigate around the additional fire traps that have sprung up, go through the unlocked door and head 1 level below. In this corridor, one of the 4 statues here can be moved, revealing a hole in the wall, which in turn opens 2 secret side rooms, both filled with treasure. I don't think we need to go over all of them, but plenty of ancient coins richer, we can continue. The big door here requires a keystone, the side door meanwhile does not, and the torch behind it is clearly marked as an object of interest. Pulling it reveals another secret passage as Sanat loots the sarcophagus. Inside, he finds the Earth Core Keystone. These types of uniquely named keystones, by the way, would not be replaced by the skeleton keystone, only the generic-shaped ones can be bypassed with it. In this case, I would also recommend holding onto the Earth Core Keystone, as the path behind the locked door can be freely accessed even without it, and after smashing another rock pile, collecting the ancient coins beneath it and going through the next door, the keystone can then be used on this panel here to deactivate all the traps in this area. That also reveals a shortcut, but thorough exploration reveals a hidden door a bit further down the corridor, another sarcophagus behind it. This one, however, only contains a small amount of ancient coins. With the money back from the room also in hand, Sanat can continue. Going through the next door here brings us into a more noteworthy room, finely decorated and with a keystone prominently displayed in the middle. Unfortunately, it is not the one unlocking the door. For that, we need the ominously named Death Tomb keystone. So let's find out where we can place this one. Our way onwards is unlocked by dragging the statue onto the floor switch here, and after collecting a statue fragment, we can head up the stairs. And we can pretty much go up to the next level right away. Only a few bits of treasure stand between us and the next stairs, but we definitely want to grab them, as one piece is a valuable canopic jar. Then we go up and find ourselves all the way back near the entrance of the pyramid. The pile of rock rubble in front of Sanat can now be cleared, and we have ourselves a shortcut back out. We don't want to use it just yet though, and we also don't want to place the keystone in the door here. Instead, there is actually a sizable area hidden behind this giant boulder here that is completely optional, but in my opinion well worth exploring. To get started, the door here is easily opened with a floor switch. Opening the treasure chest in the room behind it then fulfills 2 of Sanat's wishes, and he can also pick up another valuable canopic jar in the corner before clearing the path onwards by moving the statue out of the way. What then looks like a final treasure chamber with a sarcophagus hidden beneath some rock rubble turns out to have another secret door that leads into a corridor, more rock-buried treasure in this one too. Some stairs even lead one level higher, and as we approach them, we also learn that Sanat's vacation, which has now spanned across 3 episodes, will be over in one day. And believe me, we have so much of this tomb still left ahead of us that one day will cut it awfully close. Going up the stairs then, we enter a lavishly decorated hallway full of golden floor tiles and statues. A single hole in front of the one at the end unlocks a secret side door. Going through, Sanat finds himself on a balcony of sorts, overlooking a dark and mysterious underground garden. A prominent sarcophagus stands on the platform in the middle, and this one contains something that we better not mess with, so let us loot the chests on the left and right first, so that Sanat can avoid another encounter with a mummy. The statues here need to be moved smartly, in a way that allows both passage through and still deactivates the traps blocking the path onwards. A bit time-consuming, but worth the reward of 2 high-value gemstones. Then we open the chest in front of the sarcophagus, prompting a mummy to jump out immediately. Let's quickly collect the treasure inside and pull a statue between us and our adversary. This way we avoid a potentially dangerous encounter and can now retrace our steps all the way back to that door locked with a keystone we came across earlier. Unlocking it now allows us to enter that garden we just saw from above. Underneath a dead-looking tree, Sanat can then pick up the Death Tomb keystone, but once again we are far from done here. However, before the adventure continues, Sanat needs to rest again. Not for too long though. Like I said, we don't have much time left and plenty of tombs still ahead of us. So after about 2.5 hours, Sanat is back up on his feet, following the blue glow of treasure. The first of 3 rooms at the end of the garden here has a sarcophagus in it. No mummy in this one, however. Instead, a relic and a money bag on the table next to it. The middle chamber then full of treasure, 2 chests, a sarcophagus, money bags and ancient coins, and we can also fulfill another wish for simply opening a chest with treasure inside. From the sarcophagus, Sanat then recovers a gold figurine worth almost 2,500 simoleons, this tomb alone probably enough to finance the rest of his adventuring days, and we are still not done. A secret door leads out of the room and fulfills another wish, but before going through, we recover the treasure from the chamber on the right, just 2 relics and they're not worth much, but every bit helps. This will, by the way, also go a long way towards completing the lifetime wish of William Picking, founder of our adventuring party, who wants to assemble a relic collection worth over 20,000 simoleons, and I think Sanat might just be able to add a sizable portion to that after returning from this trip. Now, pushing a statue out of the way, Sanat is able to grab some more dried food from a hole in the ground. Not quite sure how edible all of this still is, but we'll take it before smashing some more rocks and finding a hidden passage behind them. Here, a graveyard sits as the final room of this section of the pyramid, and there's not a whole lot of treasure in it. Some nectar in a hole in the wall revealed by moving the statue, and a sarcophagus fragment in another hole unlocked by mourning at the grave in front of it. There is also a relic dig site here, but we likely won't have enough time left to fully complete it, so instead let us now retrace our steps all the way to that door requiring the Death Tomb keystone. There is one more money bag in this small corridor here that would lead us back to the entrance. You may recall me saying earlier that we want to keep it in mind for later, This is all there is in it though, apart from a harmless water trap. Fully soaked, Sanat now wants to be extra careful navigating the electricity traps leading to his door of interest. Luckily, they are instantly disabled by placing the keystone. A not at all ominous skull then greets us as we enter the next chamber. A floor switch unlocks the door straight ahead, while 2 holes in the eyes of the skull disable the traps in the room. Doing so is completely optional though, as they are clearly visible and therefore easily avoided. Before heading into the final chamber, a secret door does not want to be overlooked. Behind it we once again find plenty of treasure, including ancient coins, fulfilling a wish for Sanat. Mourning at the large gravestone also allows him to once more collect some extra treasure from a hole in the ground, and with the last piece of value taken from this room, we can now still not head into the final chamber. Instead, a statue can be pushed in the skull room, revealing another hole with a valuable gemstone in it. Then it's time to rest, just for a little bit. We can't have Sanat be tired for the final bit, as that might lead to him being unable to smash rocks or move statues, and he will need to do both. A good hour of sleep is all he gets though, before walking into a small room with 5 exits, 2 on each side, containing treasure in various forms behind it, the 5th straight ahead, promising more. The first room is actually larger than it looks, but it is arguably also the most important of the 4. Smashing the rocks reveals a hidden door, behind it another huge rock pile, and beneath a treasure chest with the unique sigil for this tomb, which, as you may have noticed by now, is probably the largest tomb in all of Simhara. The sigil is also valuable enough to fulfill another very rewarding wish for Sanat. The other 3 rooms are a little quicker to loot, as they all only contain a single chest or loose item. Then we walk into the final chamber, fulfilling Sanat's wish to fully explore the tomb, and just as we enter, not 1 but 2 mummies spring out of their sarcophagi. Now luckily, by picking up the ancient coins here first, we can time it so that the mummies stand right in the path of the fire traps in this room, activated by the floor switch right here. That kills them instantly and allows Sanat to loot the room in peace. Only a few hours are left until he needs to return back home, but let's be thorough nonetheless. The Relic of Eternity that we were looking for is inside the treasure chest, but it is not the only piece of value in here. A canopic jar is added to our collection. The sarcophagus in the middle contains an extremely valuable relic from the Dangerous Creatures collection, worth almost 4,000 simoleons. The one to its left only has dried food in it, the one on the right, meanwhile, the last fragment for the pushable statue. And with that, our search for the Relic of Eternity has probably also felt like an eternity, but we are finally here, at the end of one of the longest quest chains in the World Adventures expansion. 3 episodes for this trip alone, but the quest already began during an earlier visit, and now, with just enough time left before he needs to return home, Sanat can once again visit his mother Chimay and report the good news. With our help, the evil Morcucorp Corporation has been stopped from stealing all of these valuable relics, and we are rewarded with more ancient coins and visa points. And with barely 3 hours left until he needs to return home anyway, let's end this trip for Sanat Huja and welcome him back to Riverview. As we enjoy the sight of our lovely home lot, I also want to share with you some artwork by the wonderful Tony Murchison, a suggestion perhaps on how to evolve the design of our home. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, and who knows, we might get to building as soon as the next episode. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this one. Apologies if it was a bit too one-dimensional for your taste. I promise we'll get a bit more variety going soon. Now, as always, if you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or become a channel member or Patreon supporter. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.